But they still have a legal, designation, and they can maybe not know much about their religion or their culture, but they have a card, or they have some kind of a thing that they can say, yeah, I'm native. I can go to the hotel and I can get a discount, a legal discount, because I'm native. Or I can go and hunt. If I wanted to hunt, I could go hunt. I could go trapping or hunting. And I don't feel a great need to go hunting or trapping, but it would be nice to be a part of something. I mean, I'm just kind of not really I used to be Catholic, and that was a pretty involving thing. I used to serve Mass. I had a thing that I could do. I had a post. I had a job that I did. I had a position. I didn't get paid for it or anything, but I had something that I did. And of course I don't do that anymore. And now the church seems to be putting an end to the Tridentine Mass. Maybe it's not going to be around in another 100 years at all. So, even if you wanted to go back to the church, it's not there. The stuff that you did is not there anymore. It's gone. First words of the Mass are in nomine Patri et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Ad introibo ad altare Dei, Deum Creatifica Juventutem Meam. I mean, that's the first words of the Mass. And that's in Latin. And very few people would even know what the hell I'm doing there. It's gone. It's not a practice. It's an obsolete thing, and it's obsolete for a reason. But they have taken, I mean, maybe they took our original identity by replacing it with that, but now they're taking that, and what they're replacing it with seems kind of empty, I guess. It seems shallow and empty. And maybe it's an improvement over the Tridentine Mass, but it still seems shallow and empty. I mean, we used to go to Mass in Winfield, or not Winfield, but Hillside. And they used to say the Mass in the language that Yeshua was born in. That was a beautiful Mass. And it was a beautiful sung Mass, and it was done in the language that and I'm not saying the Mass had everything right, but it was in his language. And they moved, they still have that right. Right still exists. It's the Maronite Rite. They have 3 different Masses. It's called the Maronite Rite, and it's Lebanese. It's from Lebanon. And the language is Aramaic. It's a very ancient language, and it's also a special language. It's not just a language. It's a sacred language. And Jewish is also a sacred language. And so is Sanskrit. And of course the Christians might question that, but Sanskrit, Jewish, and Aramaic, in my opinion, are all sacred language. All 3 of them are. they're probably not the only sacred languages, but not all the languages. I'm designating this separate from other languages. Other languages like German or English, these have another layer on top that goes above and beyond other languages. There's something special there. There's something spiritual in it. Sanskrit, Aramaic, and Jewish, or Hebrew. There's something special there. And English doesn't have it. German doesn't have it. Not that German or English are bad or anything, they just don't have this special character. And there might be other languages that are also sacred that there could be other Indian languages, or there could be some languages that I don't know exist that are also sacred, but they're written in phonetic form are sacred. I do not believe Latin is a sacred language. I mean, it's a unifying language in the church and everything, but it's not special in the same way that Aramaic or Hebrew is. And yes, you would have to, they got their own alphabet and everything. Whereas Latin, you can kind of follow along with Latin, especially if you know German or English. It's not that hard to pick up. The sounds are similar to European languages, and the letters are the same, so it's not real hard to learn. Hebrew doesn't use our letters at all, and Sanskrit doesn't use our letters either. They have completely their own alphabet, and they have their own sounds. But each sound has a spiritual meaning. Each sound has a spiritual meaning, and so does each number. And Tibetan talks about this, numerology. There's sacred sciences that study this and that enumerate this and explain it, how it works. And Hebrew is a godly language, and it should be studied. And if you go back to the Hebrew, you're going to find out that we've misinterpreted some of our Bible, that we've taken some liberty, and it's not 100% accurate. If you go back to the Hebrew, they're going to have to go back to the Hebrew and restudy some of this stuff. Some of our prayers and stuff have been mistranslated in the Western religion. Now in the Hindu religion, the Hindu religion is still done in Sanskrit, so they didn't lose in translation like we did. And when they do use another language, it's similar enough to Sanskrit that I think they kept more of it. And some of these other languages are pretty old too. They're as old as Hebrew, or Sanskrit's the oldest language in the world that's still used. It's not the oldest language in the world, but it's the oldest language in the world that is still used. There's languages out there that I don't even think they know about yet, and they're not in use anymore, and they're older. Some of them might be 50,000 years old. But as far as a language that's still in use, Sanskrit is the oldest language. And there's some proof for that. There's some scientific proof for that. And of course, there's always going to be people that are going to argue with that because they want their language to be older. But I guess you can believe whatever you want. But you could say, well, Sanskrit's not the oldest language in the world. Proto-Sanskrit is.